Welcome to another ranking of an artist's discography. This time, we're switching from band to artist. Today we have Billy Joel. Billy Joel. He is my favorite artist of all time. I prefer him over Elton John. And he only has 12 albums, and despite him still performing, he hasn't made an album since 1993. He has so many classics. He's one of the greatest singer-songwriters of all time. I tend to go back to his discography a lot because it's just full of great songs. And let's get into it. So coming in at number 12 is this album. 1993's River of Dreams. I don't really listen to this album often, but in preparation for this, I had to re-listen to it. So I used to think River of Dreams was horrible. And although I do think it still is a little, it has gotten better. I've always liked the title track, and I always liked the opening track, No Man's Land. I love All About Soul, which I used to think was crap. I like Bond Over Blue. 2,000 Years is good. Goodnight My Angel is good. Although I prefer the version of Lullaby that's on the And So It Goes soundtrack album where he performed at Columbia Studios. I like Minor Variations, pretty good. Shades of Grey, it's very loud, very heavy, and it's a pretty good song. And the only songs I'm not a big fan of is The Great Wall of China, although very Beatles-esque. It's very freaking repetitive, and it's loud too. And then Famous Last Words, I'm a big fan of that song, and it's like, these songs are good. They're not like amazing. I mean, like, the only song that I can say is like really good is probably No Man's Land and probably All About Soul. But overall, this album, for the final album in his discography, it's kind of weak. And I mean, to be fair, no one's gonna go on to be like, you know what, this is the best Billy Joel album. I hail this as the greatest album in his discography. You're gonna find maybe one or two people that ever say that, and they're probably not even telling the truth. River of Dreams. So coming in 11 is this album, 1973's Piano Man. This is the second studio album by Billy Joel, and the first released on Columbia after Cold Spring Harbor was released on Family Productions. So Piano Man is, like I said, just like River of Dreams, it's all right. There's some classics on here, like obviously Piano Man, Ballad of Billy the Kid, and Captain Jack. However, there's some of those songs that I'm not big fan of. Traveling Prayer is a little weak, a little goofy. Not a big fan of that song. Ain't No Crime is like these songs are so. I not really care for Worst Comes to Worst, or If I Only Had the Words to Tell You. Somewhere Along the Line is very underrated, and I also like Stop in Nevada and You're My Home. But yeah, overall, this album's alright. Captain Jack, obviously got to talk about the classics. Captain Jack is a little overrated, in my opinion. It's very fucking Captain Jack will get you high tonight. For 7 minutes, it's kind of boring. After a while, obviously Piano Man, the title track is phenomenal. I love that song. And then Ballad of Billy the Kid, once again, it's better on Songs in the Attic, like a lot of those versions. But the overall album as a whole, it's fine. This is an album that I'm not gonna just put on, because usually I just play this when I'm realistic to his discography. And the reason I have this on vinyl, because you're probably like, well, why does he have it if he doesn't like it? First off, I do like it, and secondly, I got it because of the collection Volume 1 set, which was a gift that I saved up my money for. So coming in at number 10 is this album, 1989 Stormfront, not Storefront. I don't know what I was talking about, but yeah, Stormfront is the first album since The Bridge, and this is this album is the first album that has some members of his classic band not on it, so there is no Russell Javers. Liberty DeVito is the only one I think that remains, even though he's very limited. Like, I think Doug Steigmeyer's on that album. You know, a lot of his classic members are gone, and you can tell the sound a lot different from the bridge. You know, this album's more rock oriented, so just like River of Dreams. You know, We Didn't Start the Fire. Not a big fan of that song. That's Not Our Style, rock oriented. You know, I Go to Extremes, great song, rock oriented. So yeah, it's more upbeat songs that's focusing more on the guitar rather than the piano, just like River of Dreams. So, songs that I love, like Down Easter Alexa, aforementioned, I Go to Extremes, Leningrad, which is one of my favorite Billy Joel songs. And So It Goes, great closing track. I love the title track is really good. Down Easter Alexa, if I didn't mention it yet, that's a really good song. You know, When in Rome, The State of Grace is a very underrated track. The only track I'm not a big fan of, besides We Didn't Start the Fire, because I'll get to that in a second, is Shameless. Shameless is, I don't know, I never really cared for that song. But the song We Didn't Start the Fire, obviously everyone knows. We didn't start the fire. Yeah, so the verses are the like history of stuff. You know, it's like I said, it's cool. I've heard the song about a gazillion times, but you know, Stormfront in full, it's good. You know, there's not great, but it's, you know, there's some songs that are a little lower level than the other ones, but you know, it's a pretty solid album overall. So coming in at number 9 is this album, 1971's Cold Spring Harbor. This is the first Billy Joel album. You can tell it's the first because it doesn't look like that. It only looked like that on the first album. You know, this album is very dark. You know, I mean, leading up to this, he was a very depressed guy because he was in that band Attila that failed, and everything failed. Did attempt things. I can't talk on YouTube, otherwise they'll take the video down. But yeah, so comes here, records a new album. He thinks he sounds like a album The Chipmunks, which they like, yeah, because they pressed it at the wrong speed. It was too fast, so all these songs that he loved got ruined. And so let's get into the track list. They did fix it though, because then they did re-release in 1983 with the original speed plus new additions. So She's Got Away, obviously amazing song. That's one of his early classics, along with Everybody Loves You Now. And you know, the other songs in here aren't really like very popular. Like if you're an avid Billy Joel fan, you probably never heard of these songs. They're really good. Like Falling on the Rain, a really good song. Got to Begin Again, Tomorrow's Today. You Can Make Me Free, which on this version I don't have the original record because the original record is out of print. This is from the box set that I mentioned. So You Can Make Me Free, where there was like a 6-minute song and they like jammed, but they just cut it out after like the 3-minute mark. Why'd You Do Why is pretty good. And then I like the song Nocturne or something like that. It's like a very like classical, and then this showcases his really great piano playing. And then the two songs I'm a big fan of are Turn Around, You Look So Good to Me. Turn Around is like kind of like a country influence song, and I obviously could tell it wasn't made in 1971 because there was a Fender Rhodes and like a synthesizer. So straight off it obviously it was the 1983 remix that they did that had it. Yes, man. And You Look So Good to Me, the organ is a little iffy. And another thing is that on this album, obviously Billy Joel doesn't have his classic vocals that everyone knows him for, so he sounds like ah, la, 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 la. So he's like kind of like singing like that. And you know, if you think of Billy Joel, you don't really think of those kind of vocals. So you know, I mean, to be honest with you, Cold Spring Harbor, it's a good album. It's probably the first out of all of these that I consider like a very solid album, and you know, it's the start of a classic career. So coming in at number 8 is his album. 1986 is The Bridge. So jumping ahead 15 years, this dude's a freaking superstar. Just released An Innocent Man. That album's huge. So comes out The Bridge, 1986. And on the back, starting to wear them sunglasses. You know, I used to not like this album. I used to think this album was kind of shit. But, you know, actually, I'm upon re-listening. Most of these songs that I used to not like, I actually like a lot more now. So, like, I'm not gonna say, like, I didn't hate this song, because the songs that I hate, that I used to hate, I will tell you, I used to. So, opening track, Running on Ice, always loved that song. You know, I always loved how it sounded like Sting and the Police. That piano was, like, freaking crazy. And then the second track, This Is the Time, great song. And then A Matter of Trust, obviously, Departure, because this dude's a piano man. And then the video, he's Guitar Man. He's using a Les Paul. Love the songs. Modern Woman, I used to not like that song. I used to think it was a little friggin' goofy sounding. Still sounds goofy because it's with 1986, just very dated sounding. But you know, it's a pretty good song. And then ends off the side with Baby Grand with Ray Charles. It's like a jazz song. I always liked the song. Always thought it sounded cool. You know, Billy Joel had it utilizes Ray Charles type vocal and Ray Charles sounded. They sound like they were having so much fun. It's such a great track. Continuing the jazz on side 2 with Big Man on Mulberry Street, great track. And you know, and then that it doesn't really sound dated as dated as I used to think it sounded. It didn't really. And then Temptation, used to think the song was a little iffy, but now I really like it. I think the song is really cool sounding. It is very dated, but you know, it sounds really good. I like Mark Rivera's saxophone on that song. And then the last 2 songs I used to give a hard time, Code of Silence and Getting Closer. So Code of Silence, I still think it's not a really good song. I mean, he sang with us. I think it was a kind of like a duet with Cyndi Lauper. I don't mind the song. It's just some dude with a harmonica is like going across the song. It's like kind of like shut up, because it's like really loud, the harmonica. And then the final track, Getting Closer, I love a lot more now. I used to think it was kind of like a throwaway track, but you know, it's not really a throwaway track. It's a really good track with Steve Winwood of Solo Fame and Traffic on Hammond organ. He's going off on it. I love it. And also, another important thing, not only this is also, I think, like the end of the classic era, because it's the last album that Phil Ramone produced for Billy Joel, dating all the way back to The Stranger to the Bridge. This big partnership ended after this album. So yeah, like I said, it really is the end of an era, because he sacked Phil Ramone, then he sacked his band Apart From Liberty. So yeah, like overall, The Bridge is a good album. You know, some clunkers, but overall, very solid. Coming in at number 7 is this album, 1974, Street Life's Serenade. This is the third album, second and final album that he recorded in L.A. Street Life Serenade. And like I said, last album he recorded in L.A. before he went to New York. So he recorded Piano Man and then this in L.A. So Street Life Serenade, underrated. That's all I can say. This album is very underrated. Opening track, Street Life Serenader, used to be my favorite Billy Joel song. It isn't anymore, but I still think it's really, really good. And Los Angelinos, you know, these first two songs, really, really good. Make It 3 in a row. Great Suburban Showdown, another like country-esque song with like Eagles kind of vibe with it. I really like it. And then there's an instrumental, Root Beer Rag, very ragtime. And side ends with Roberta, kind of a song that I don't really listen to often, so it's kind of like throwaway. Side 2 begins with very famous song, The Entertainer, because I am the entertainer. It's a very, very good song. And then there's a couple, and then there's these 2 songs that are very deep cut, like ultra deep cuts right here. Blast of the Big Time Spenders and We significant song. They're fine, you know, not like about it. A song that I will go is about is Souvenir. You know, this song is very, very good. And it's very kind of sad, you know, because it's like reflecting the end of something. It used to be his closing tracks. I mean, he hasn't performed because he has I forgot the name of it, but yeah, he's got like a condition. So unfortunately, to be fair, at Souvenir, it's kind of like a closure to his stuff. And then the final song on the album is another instrumental called "The Mexican Connection," which I think is very underrated. I love how. Another thing with this album is that he introduced synthesizers because he hadn't played synthesizers, so he had synthesizer on The Entertainer, Mexican Connection, like these songs, and he had an electric piano on Los Angeles. So yeah, a lot of new instruments incorporated into this album. So yeah, overall, Chef Serenade, very underrated. And now we're getting into a string of albums I'm gonna have very hard time ranking. But you know what? We will get through it. So coming in at number 6 is this album, 1983's An Innocent Man. You know, this was very hard. This decision. You know, I really hate saying that this is number 6, but Innocent Man. This is an album after Nylon Curtain. The sonic experiments of Nylon Curtain. He wanted to go more of a album that reminded him of his roots. So he did that, and you know these songs are really good. Easy Money, Innocent Man, amazing songs. Innocent Man especially, freaking phenomenal. Longest Time, love the. Yeah, that's a great song. This Night, very underrated song. And then the side ends with very big hit single, Tell Her About It, which I love. And the side 2, Uptown Girl, another friggin' huge song. Uptown Girl. Then there's a string of songs right here. Carol Stalker, Christy Lee. You know, these songs aren't songs that I'm going about. Although I will, because Carol Stalker is really good. Christy Lee, you know, not a song that I'm like about. Probably my least favorite on the album. Leave a Tender Moment Alone. Very, very good song. Left out with the harmonica, and then the song ends with Keep the Faith. I love that strat. The song has a very, very groovy vibe to it, you know. And like overall, Innocent Man, a great album, you know. And it ends the run of like I would argue like one of the greatest runs of music, from Turnstiles to An Innocent Man. Like it's freaking phenomenal, this album. So coming in at number 5 is this album, 1976's Turnstiles. So this is the album. He returns to New York, and this is when Billy Joel started going from his early singer-songwriter to that that everyone knows him for. Some classic songs on here. Say Goodbye to Hollywood, opening track. Although I do prefer the version on Songs in the Attic. This is a great version. Now it's very wall of sounding. Then the second track, Summer Highway Falls, one of my favorite Billy Joel songs. It's a great upbeat song, great piano. The only song I'm not a big fan of on this album is All You Want to Do Is Dance. It's like his taste on, it's like his try on reggae music. Why don't two people get back together? Ooh la la. New York State of Mind. That's a classic song. And then side 2, all these songs are amazing. James, love the electric piano, the Fender Rose. Prelude, Angry Young Man, that song is freaking crazy. Going off on that song with that. Love that song. I've loved These Days. Prefer the version of Songs in the Attic, but the song is really good. And then it ends off with Miami 2017, one of my favorite songs of all time. It is an exciting track. I love that. And then, like I said, once again, the version on Songs in the Attic, way faster. It's like the version on here is a little slower, but like, love it. That version, I love it a lot more. But yeah, overall, Turnstiles, the beginning of the fantastic era. This is when he went off, man. This is when he was going crazy. He wasn't going crazy quite yet, because he saved the extra insanity for the next album, which obviously I am not putting The Stranger at number 4, so don't worry. However, number 4, 1980s Glass Houses. So this is after his piano-led stuff, you know, he was playing stadiums, and he's like, you know, I don't want to play piano stuff, so I want to go again. So Glass Houses is exactly what I did. Every song is, well, almost every song. So, you know, he went to the new wave type of music, more punk style music. It's a very aggressive album. It is amazing. Every album is perfect, actually. So let's get into it. First track, You May Be Right. That's a great song. Love the sax solo. It's amazing. Richie Kanata, underrated sax player. I am back. I had to abruptly end the video. People came in my room. I think I was on You May Be Right. Yeah. So yeah, you're in. So next song is Sometimes a Fantasy. Another hard-hitting song. I love it. Love that. Like Stop Lying in the Audience. Don't Ask Me Why. Great track. It's kind of like bossa nova. With like the percussion. Love the piano solo in the middle, and then it's still rock and roll to me. This is I think it's first #1 single, because Just the Way You Are was not a #1 single. Great track, you know, great track. And then the last song on the side is All for Leno. Very angry song. You know, I love how you just yell stop in the middle of the song, and then I like how the synths come in. I am poking myself with this freaking thing. Oh my god. Yeah, I love how the synths are like very in there, and then you know everything about it is great. And then side 2 is the niche side, the underrated side. I Don't Want to Be Alone, amazing song. Sleeping with the Television On, another amazing song. And C'est à Toi, the song where he sings French. Great song. Close to the Borderline, another hard-hitting song. And Through the Long Night, originally I did not like that song. I love it now. Through the Long Night is like a Beatles track almost. It's hard time or silence. Yeah, it's a lot of chord changes, and then you play Through the Long Night and be like, oh, I want to play this because it's very easy. No, it's not. It's not easy at all. But yeah, classic album, and you know every song is amazing. And you're wondering why it's 4, because the next 3 albums somehow are even better. What the fuck? Number 3, 1978's 52nd Street. This is a more jazz-oriented album. Obviously, he's holding a trumpet on the cover. Does not play any trumpet on this album. All right, so you know, Following the Stranger, he released this. Are you crazy? This dude, after making the Stranger, releases 52nd Street. Open the song with Big Shot, not really jazz at all. It's like something you hear on Glass House. I love Big Shot. I think it was The Honesty, amazing song about honesty as being such a lonely word. Everyone is lonely true. And after that, My Life. Everyone knows My Life. My Life. Great song. And then finally, to close out side 1, yeah. Zanzibar, that's the jazz song. So he's talking about sports and shit. He's talking about how the Yankees drive the headlines every time. And then there's like a trumpet solo played by Freddie Hubbard, very famous jazz musician. Great song, love Zanzibar. Side 2, the niche stuff, kind of stiletto. Talking about somebody murdering somebody. I don't know. So I think it's a really good song. Rose One Desire, another great song, very like Latin influence. Like I like to watch the piano song, Half a Mile Away. It's very horn sounding. It's almost like a Chicago track. I like it. Then the big song on side 4. Jesus, doesn't even have a double album. But side 2 is Until the Night, dude. Until the Night. It's like 6.5 minutes of genuine, insane issue. Amazing. It's very epic in the end. Then when it switches up and he's like, I'm just beginning to feel. That's great. Now, that's not the end of the album, because the end of the album is the song 52nd Street, which is, you know, he's like, these are the 52nd Street. whatever. It's a fine ending to an album. Until the Night Shift, 52nd Street is kind of like just an addition to the album. Overall, this album is friggin' amazing, bro. It's friggin' good. Number 2. I had to flip-flop for this one. I did not know what to pick. But I'm very confident in my pick that it won't get people mad. It's also kind of true. I used to think this used to be my favorite Billy Joel album. Then it was like, well, it's my second favorite. Oh no, now it's my favorite. Now it's my second favorite. 1982's The Nylon Curtain. Dude, this is like his Sgt. Pepper. It's like sonic, very ambitious. A lot of styles on this album. A lot of great music on this album. Allentown, opening track. Living here in Allentown. I love that song. I love the middle section when he's like, on a father's own. Like, every child had a brilliant shot. Don't even ask what I was singing before that. That's the fucking first, bro. Alright, Laura, it's very Beatles sounding. And Billy Joel, everyone thought he was a balladeer, because you weren't gonna put on a Billy Joel and expect him to go, here I am, feeling like a fucking fool. So yeah, I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised. In fact, I didn't even know he said it until I read it on Wikipedia. That's how great the song is. Like, forget the lyrics. It's just a great melody. And then you go into Pressure. Very, very hesitant sound. Very exciting. It's so fucking avant-garde and weird. Really good song. I love the synths. It's playing on synclavier, which is known to be a very ambitious synthesizer. It was used on so many hits in the 80s. And then the side ends with a very serious, very epic track called Goodnight Saigon, which is about the soldiers in Vietnam. Some came back, shelved themselves, and so many people related to it at the time, because Billy Joel, at his age, most of the people his age were former Vietnam vets, and it really hit them. The music hit them, and it's a really, really, really good song. It's about 7 minutes. It's just a great listen. So side 2 comes. She's Right on Time. Don't know if it's a Christmas song or if it's about a song just being around the Christmas. Great friggin' song. I love that. Through a Christmas night. Then A Room of Our Own. Very underrated track. Now the ultra underrated track and one of my favorite songs by him ever, top 5 in my opinion, Surprises. You're probably surprised I'm even saying that. Surprises is a top 5 Billy Joel song in my opinion. That song is crafted so amazingly. How do you, it sounds like John Lennon singing, which I'll get to the other song that sounds like John Lennon, but this sounds like a Beatles song, and it is crafted so well. Everything about the song is amazing. I love the synths. I love the piano. The piano's a Yamaha electric grand. It is a friggin' phenomenal track. Now, Scandinavian Skies is the other song. This is like a lost 1966-67 Beatles song. Dude, the strings are haunting. And then he's like, I think it's about a bad experience on heroin or something. The Sins of Amsterdam. Great track. It's very, very ambitious, very experimental. It's a 6-minute track. It is, like I said, this album is stuff you wouldn't expect him to make, he made. And the album ends with the great track, Where's the Orchestra, which I love so much about this, is that at the end of Where's the Orchestra, it has an orchestral arrangement of Allentown, which kind of brings the album full circle, which brings me back to how this album is kind of like Sgt. Pepper, and how it's very sonic, full circle. It's like a sort of a concept album, not really, but you can think of it that way. Some people, the thing that shocks me is that some people think this album isn't that good. What the fuck? This is The Nylon Curtain, bro. This album's This album's the exact opposite of bad. This album's freaking amazing. It's one of the best albums of the 80s, dude. It's better than Glass House. It's like, you listen to this and you're blown away. I'm blown away every time I listen to it. How do you listen to this and say it's not good? It's just, I don't know, it baffles me. It's like the people who say 90125, the old Yes fans just say 90125 is good. Like, you're wrong. So coming in at number 1, obviously, The Stranger. Dude, this is a classic. It's just a classic rock album. You know, when you think of Billy Joel, you think of The Stranger. When you think of quite possibly the greatest album of all time, you think of The Stranger. Dude, like, every song on The Stranger is flawless. Moving Out. What a freaking amazing song. The title track is freaking amazing. Just the Way You Are is a beautiful track. And Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, that is the best Billy Joel song. Everything about Scenes from an Italian Restaurant is amazing. The amount of sections, it's like the Abbey Road medley almost, like, which he did say he based it off. It's freaking amazing. And then side 2, you get Vienna, which was like a deep cut, and then became like a big song. I mean, obviously because it's Vienna. Vienna's fucking amazing. Only the Good Die Young, what a great song. And then She's Always a Woman, another friggin' hauntingly beautiful track. And then the underrated track, Get It Right the First Time, it's so great. And it ends off with Everybody Has a Dream, which is a beautiful song where he sings like Ray Charles. And then it does a reprise of the dude, this album is absolutely phenomenal. This is his best album. This is probably the best album made in the 70s, besides probably like, I don't know, Dark Side of the Moon or something like that. Dude, this is freaking, this is art. This is art right here. This is art. This is peak. And that will wrap up the Billy Joel ring. You know, end off. What an album, The Stranger, bro. So yeah, in conclusion, that was fun to do, fun to talk about Billy Joel. And the next ranking will be none other than quite possibly the greatest rapper of all time, Kanye West. That will come out next Friday. This will come out. I'm recording this on Thursday, so this will be out tomorrow on Friday. Will be premiered at I'm not going to premiere at 8. Not worth it. I'm just going to upload it schedule it for Friday. And yeah, so hope you all enjoyed the video, and I will see you later. Bye.